I'm outside again. I'm looking for twigs, specifically twigs from the selje tree, or seljetre på norsk, in Norwegian. So now I have my twigs. Here they are. I could have gotten birch, björk. This is björk, birch. But I wanted selje. You can use both. I'll tell you why later. And now I'm going home to put this inside in water. Tonight I'm going to make Fastelavnsboller. It's a Norwegian tradition. It's related to Mardi Gras and Fat Tuesday. We make these very sweet buns filled with cream, and we eat them before Lent starts. That's of course the old Christian tradition of Lent, the last 40 days before Easter starts. But our Fat Tuesday is always on a Sunday, so it's called Fastelavn or Fastelavnssøndag, Fastelavn Sunday. Okay, let's begin. First we're going to add flour. I use a gluten-free because I can't eat gluten. Then I use 3 tablespoons special fiber that you often use when you bake gluten-free buns. And then we're going to add sugar. Yeast. This is fresh yeast. We're going to mix that with some lukewarm milk. We're going to dissolve it in the milk. And we add that. I'm going to add the rest of the milk. Then butter. This is real dairy butter because it tastes so good. If you can't have dairy, of course, you can use some alternative like margarine. I have to look at my list, my recipe. Now we're going to add cardamom. It's a very common spice to use in sweet pastry in Norway. I'm going to have 3 of these. Now, baking powder. We're going to use that in addition to yeast, so it'll be even more fluffy. One and a half teaspoon. And I'm going to add something we call vanilla sugar. I should have real vanilla powder, but I'm out of it, so I'm using this instead. This is optional, but I'm going to add an egg. Little salt. Now we're going to start mixing it together. First on high speed. Okay, and now I'm gonna cover this with plastic wrap. And now the dough has to rise, so I'm gonna place it in a warm spot, probably close to my fireplace. And it's now about 3 times as big as it was. I'm gonna put some flour on the table. Neutral oil. Neutral means that it doesn't have flavor. I put some oil on my hands. This is how my mother taught me to make buns. I'm gonna put them here. As usual, it took a lot longer to rise the buns than I had hoped. Well, I don't know why that always happens to me. So it took about an hour. but now they're the size that I want them to be. And this is an egg. And we're going to brush the buns with that so they get glossy. Right. And now we're going to put them in the oven. So here they are. They're not perfect, but they're quite fluffy, airy. How do you say that in English? Soft, and they smell fantastic. Now I'm going to wrap them in plastic once they're cooled down. And I'm going to get some sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello. Now we're going to make the Fastelavnsris. It's basically a bouquet of twigs, Psyllium twigs. The reason I chose Psyllium is because if I had picked these in time, then there would have been a lot of small buds that look like goslings. We call them goslings. They look like cute little fluffy birds. But in a couple of days, I think they will have popped out. And so I'll take a picture of it again. Yeah. Next time I'll make it in time. But now we're going to decorate it. So I have feathers. Yeah. It's very common. That's my daughter laughing. She thinks it's funny when I speak English. We use feathers. That's the most common decor for the Fastelavnsris. And they're similar to what we call påskeris, which is for Easter. But the big difference is that påskeris, the Easter twigs, they're also decorated with eggs, and we use more yellow. At least I prefer to use a lot of yellow, white, and orange for the Easter twigs, påskeris. For Fastelavnsris, it's very common to use lots of different colors. These are my favorite colors, so that's what I use. So let's begin. I have some pink thread here. Originally, the twigs were supposed to symbolize fertility and new life. because as you know, winters in Norway, they can be pretty rough, at least in some parts of the country. Cold and nothing is green, so it's kind of like a death, nature's death, and then it's reborn in spring. So in Norway, that in Scandinavia, it's kind of a strong sentiment that winter's going to be over soon, and there's going to be new life, warmth, light, green leaves, flowers, love. And actually, in the really old days, they used these twigs to spank each other. I don't know a lot about this, but I read it. And they used to wake each other up in the morning and spank each other with them, supposedly to spank new life force and vitality into people in spring. I'm not sure when they started decorating them, but anyway, this is what we do now. I think I'm almost done. I'm a perfectionist. This is just my preference, but I like to tie a ribbon around the vase. Make a little bow. Like that. I think that's my own idea, actually. I'm almost done, but I want a little more green. I don't have any more green feathers, so I'm going to use these ribbons, just a few, to lighten it up a little bit. After all, it's going to be spring soon, or soonish. I live in the east of Norway, and winter is quite long here and very cold. I used to live in the southwest of Norway for about 5 years. That was different. Winters there are much milder. So I'd say spring there starts in February, late February. It doesn't really here normally. So it's a long wait. So these green ribbons are going to remind me of spring and life and summer. It's no wonder how we romanticize summer here in Norway, because it's cold half the year. That's enough. I'm pleased now. I think this is enough, balanced, not too over decorated, in my opinion. Okay. I'm sorry that we're missing the goslings. Gåsunger. It's called gåsunger in Norwegian. But like I said, I guess in 1 or 2 days they're gonna pop out, and then I'll make another short clip. Now we're going to make the cream for the buns.